What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 28 of X's and O's with Evan and Bros. I'm your most gracious host, Evan. And looking around, I guess the audience are the bros today. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everybody's healthy, safe. West Coast, is on fire still, and hope that's taken care of, and everybody's, with their loved ones. And that's all we can ask, in this time of 2020. I think that's all you can ask, And so, I hope everybody stays safe and, we get through this all together. But this show is about sports, so we're going to talk a little sports. So that's what we're going to do today. It's just me. I hope you enjoy my thoughts. Hope you don't get annoyed, hearing just my voice for the, next hour. But we'll have some fun, and then maybe if you're like, hey, I like hearing just Evan's thoughts, maybe we can work on something. Put something together for y'all. All right. Hey, let's get this show started.
X's and O's with Evan and Bros.
Tolson.
Yeah.
Always coming in with the heat. Let's go.
Okay, it's X's and O's with Evan and Bros. Of course, it's a talk show, man, talking about sports. The one and only Evan Miller, yeah, that's your host, doing analyzing with the side of jokes. Ayy, X's and O's with Evan and Bros. X's and O's with Evan and Bros. X's and O's with Evan and Bros. Ayy, analyzing with the side of jokes.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's start with the NBA. And so far, we had a game last night. The Boston Celtics, Game 3, takes on the Miami Heat. Let me tell you guys, this, I have felt, just like the Toronto series, that the Celtics have been in control. And obviously, they have had double-digit leads at halftime, I believe, and going into the fourth quarter. I mean, the Miami Heat just continued to have blistering third quarters, by the way. And I have to say that they really came out, they got Game 3, the Boston Celtics did, which is much needed because this was a must-win. There was a report that there was a heated discussion in the locker room between Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown. Fun fact, the Celtics are 15-0, now 16-0 when Jaylen scores more than 20 points. There's a correlation between the two. When he's aggressive, it opens up the floor for everybody else. I'm in the camp where I do think he is the Boston Celtics' second best player, I think behind Jason Tatum. I mean, Kemba's right there. It's not like there's, wide range, but I just, Jaylen has the athleticism, the size, and he has that it factor. I love Jaylen Brown. I'm a huge Jaylen Brown fan. But going off, so Celtics win 117-106, and the Heat brought in. So the score does not really translate with how the game went, and Boston had the lead besides the fourth, which Miami came back with 32 points of the majority of the game. Had the lead in all quarters, not all quarters, but they finished with the highest point totage for every quarter besides the fourth. Luckily, they already built up a lead. They won the game. But they're not out of the woodworks yet. I think with a combination of that come to heart with Hayward coming back, this definitely gives them with the lineup of Hayward, Brown, Tatum, Smart, and Kemba. They're 5 best players. I mean, I take those 5 over the Heat's 5 still, even though Jimmy Butler has been playoff MVP. For sure, if there is one, he's been absurd. So Jaylen Brown, 43 minutes, And these guys, Tatum, Brown, and Walker, are going to have to play these kind of minutes. 43 minutes, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Pretty efficient, 11 of 17, 1 for 3. Didn't really shoot the ball from 3 last night, but he doesn't have to. He can get his. Shot 3 of 5, 1 block, 3 steals. Beast on the defensive end. That's what he's going to give you. He's one of the best two-way guards, shooting guard, small forward, kind of whatever you want to classify him as in the league. I like to think if he's like Paul George light. He just needs to extend his. He has the tools needed to get there. Not playoff Paul George, by the way. Not playoff Paul George. And then Tatum gave you 25, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists, almost a triple-double. He did shoot the ball 20 times, shot 9 of 20. So you like to see that be a little more efficient, but when Jaylen Brown's shooting the way he's shooting, you don't have to be. Walker, 21, 6 and 2. 50% from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, 50%. Good job. Marcus Smart, 20 points, 4 and 6. Theis, 8, 7. Hayward, obviously just come back, give you 6, 5, and 4. They're only going 4 deep. Canton saw the field. I want to know why. Maybe one of the bros could have answered this if they were here. Why Robert Williams is not seeing the court, but Grant Williams is. I like Grant Williams. That's a lie. I hate Grant Williams. I think Robert Williams is so much better. So play the man. The dude can block. The dude can rebound. He needs to see the court. I don't know why they're not. It's ridiculous. Makes me upset. All right, let's move on to the Heat. Bam, 27, 16, and 1. Butler, 17, 8, and 3. Crowder, 10, 6, and 5. Dragic, 11, 1, and 5. About time Dragic already finally had a bad game. 2 of 10, finally. The dude's been playing out of his mind. Came back to earth for a little bit. Duncan, 13, 1, and 2. Have Hero coming off the bench, giving you 22, 3, and 4. Your 6-man can give you 22. It's going to keep you in. It's kind of like a Marcus Smart effect or Lou Will, you know. If you can get that guy to come off your bench and give you 20, you're almost going to win every night. I can guarantee it. Problem is you can't have your other starter scoring 10, 11, and 13. And that's what happened. Jones, 3. Olynyk, 3. Yeah. So, really it's weird. The bench got shorter for both teams. They're not going as deep, which happens in playoffs. But the Celtics have had control of this series, games 1 through 3. Realistically, if they don't blow their leads, they should be up 3-0. This Celtics team is that good. It's just that, the Heat and Jimmy Butler don't quit. They got dogs, and you got to respect it. But I picked the Celtics to win in 7. I still think they'll win in 7. I mean, I still think there might be a chance where they win, what would be 6 or 5? Yeah, 6. Since he got 2. But I think he'll probably get one more. So 7. But now, Celtics have to show up again. Bring that same energy, bring the same passion, bring all of it for game 4. Because they need it. Need it big time. But yeah, so that's game 3, Eastern Conference Finals. Let's talk a little preview, though. So coming up, we have Nuggets-Lakers tonight, game 2. Lakers blew out the Nuggets on Friday. Lakers won 126-114. LeBron left in the fourth quarter. That when the game was out of hand to get that ankle, reviewed. He's gonna be okay. I mean, he was dunking literally like on the next possession when he rolled it. So he's fine. The King is fine. Both these teams were shooting lights out in the first quarter. Nuggets went so cold to start the second. So cold. I mean, they went from like shooting 61% to missing their first 10 and turned it over. Leads to transition threes, dunks. Lakers are hype. Dwight Howard gets confidence. Rajon Rondo gets confidence. Then they rewind the clock to be in their all-star forms, 09. Who thought? Who thought? I tell you what. Would I like Dwight Howard to get a championship? Yes. Love Dwight Howard to get it. Dwight Howard used to be when I got in the NBA, he used to be one of my favorite players when I first started. One of my first favorite players, Dwight Howard was. He's just a freaking beast. And I've always gravitated towards centers. And so, let me give you the stats. So, Nuggets scored 114. Jameer Grant, 9. Oh, guys, I don't have any bros to correct my names. So, you know how bad I am. Just fair warning. Jamal Murray gave you 21. Jokic gave you 21. Oh, and also these refs, can I just say, excuse my French, I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. I don't have to say it, but they suck. These refs are terrible. The LA Lakers, and I'll pull the stat up. I know for a fact they were at the line every minute of this game. Jokic and Murray had 3 fouls in the second quarter. It's ridiculous. And not just them. Porter gave you 14, 10, and 4. He's at the line. Shot 7 of 8. All right. Nuggets had 28 free throws, 82% from the field. Lakers had 37. I think, honest to God, I think 30 of those came in the first half. 30 of those. Ridiculous. Davis had 37, 10, and 4. LeBron James, 15, 6, and 12. It was definitely a facilitating kind of night for LeBron. I thought Grant was actually defending him very well. And so I think but he got in foul trouble. If they can keep Grant on LeBron, figure out a way to throw different guys at AD, or just worry about AD getting his 30 and then just worry about everybody else. Because Caldwell Pope can't give you 18. You're going to lose. Kuzma off the bench gave you 11. Good output. Dwight Howard, again, 13, only 3 rebounds. Dude had 2 blocks. He had 1 block that was his head could have touched the bottom of the backboard and his arm could have touched the top. It was nasty. Highlight of the game for me. It was aggressive. And I like Dwight Howard, but he's starting to do he's doing Dwight Howard things where it's his playing style, which is I respect. You have to have a style where he gets in. He's a little annoying. He's a little annoying. Let's just say that. You definitely don't want to play against him, but you love having him. Some teams did. Maybe not the Hawks or the Hornets, but Lakers are enjoying him. So I think, this Lakers team, and Morris, I tell you what, they must have switched twins because he's shooting like his brother was in New York. His shot looks so good from 3. I feel like every time he shoots, it's going in. When this Lakers team are knocking down shots, Caldwell Pope, Green, shot 1 of 4. He got 1 in. Rajon Rondo plays well. Dwight Howard, Morris. I mean, they're going to be tough to beat. I still think Lakers are probably going to win in 5. But if you get this Nuggets team down 1-3, guarantee a Game 7 win for the Nuggets. That's where they want to be. But yeah, I think if they stay out of foul trouble, Game 2, right, tonight, they stay out of foul trouble. And remember, this is pre-record on Sunday, so I'm just I'm giving you my hopes of what's going to happen tonight. And then maybe by Monday when this episode comes out, I'm completely wrong. Most likely wrong. We want low foul count. You know, Malone's going to hammer that for sure, the head coach. Keep Grant on LeBron. Don't worry about AD because who you going to throw at AD? You rather not get the fouls and just let him score and worry about everybody else. Honestly. That's what I would do. I would say not guard him, but then he would have 120 points. Then you probably lose. So I say you can't do that. But just a little lax on it. Don't go as aggressive. Jokic, again, don't get in foul trouble. The Nuggets need more production from Millsap. He's been good since coming back, but I feel like he plays bad, Porter plays good. He plays good, Porter plays bad. Hence, Porter giving you 29 minutes. So Millsap has to be more aggressive. Only shot the ball 5 times. Yeah, they just got to be confident. They can do this. They can do it. I mean, they outscored them in the first quarter. They can do it again. Do it for 3 more. You got this. I believe in the Nuggets. I think they're a good team. I think Jokic is for sure the best center in the league. Center, not big man, center. And so I think they can easily win one, right? Win game 2. Win game 2. Make it 1-1. Then, let the rest of the series, whatever happens, happens. But look at the Celtics, right? Down 0-2. Came back. Now they have the momentum. They really do. And sports are all about momentum. So you can be up the entire game. Look at Navy. Navy and Tulane. A little college football action. Came back, scored 27 unanswered points. That's unreal. It won. College football's insane. All right. So that's NBA. We're prepping. I think the Nuggets will win tonight. I'm going Nuggets, but I won't be. I can always say but I won't be shocked if LeBron and the boys get it up. All right, so let's stay in the NBA range. Just move on to a different subject, though. So I have a problem, and it was a lot of the voting. And now we've known about the Defensive Player of the Year award, Giannis. MVP was just announced, Giannis. He's over in Greece. Enjoy your vacation, Giannis. And Rookie of the Year was announced, Ja Morant. No problem. Probably would have voted. If I got a vote, if they sent me a ballot, which they should next year, definitely giving Ja a vote. But they released the names of the people and their affiliates who vote, and who they voted for. So one guy, this guy from Chicago, Illinois. It's like for the Chicago Sun. Never heard of it. Voted for Zion Williamson. The one guy. And then Ja called him out on Twitter or Instagram, one or the other. Called him out. I don't like this at all. Now, if you told me they signed a waiver that said, hey, your vote will be released to the public, and then you choose to vote, that's on you. That's your choice. But say you vote and then they release who you voted for without your knowledge of them going to do that, I'd be so mad. So mad. I saw one of the guys I really like, Stephen A. Smith, voted for LeBron James as MVP, which respect. And I know LeBron was a little pissy about not getting his 4th MVP He said he wanted the vote to be a little closer. But, dude, I'm not going to lie. I don't. You have Anthony Davis. Yes, and you still are. I agree that team will not be as good without you. But that Bucks team's not the best, not the winningest record in the league. They're not the 1 seed in the East without Giannis. I can guarantee you that much. You think Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez can lead that group? Not a chance. Not a freaking chance. So to say you're the most valuable player, no. I mean, I make the same argument, James Harden. That Rockets roster is nothing without him. They're in the lotto, probably top 10, maybe even top 5 without James Harden. That's how bad I think that Rockets roster is. So, back on the whole Ja, though. Ja rightfully earned Rookie of the Year. I think it's silly that this guy voted for Zion. I think it's extremely silly. But you can't. If I was Ja, why? One guy. I know he's kind of, and I can see Ja because he's a young guy like me. He's just kind of, he's joking around. I don't think he's, I think he's joking, but probably a little curious. Why? But it's that guy's, right to pick Zion if he thought Zion was the Rookie of the Year. And then I think it's shitty for the NBA to release who everybody voted for. Because I'm not saying it's wrong for the player to approach and ask why. But people are kind of crazy if you haven't figured that out, especially some fans. I mean, I'm an Alabama fan. One guy poisoned a tree over in Auburn. So that's how crazy fans are. So I don't know why. You got to always plan for worst case scenario. And you don't know if some fan would, I don't. You never know. Death threats or something like that, something intense. Fans are crazy. I'm sure Ja has some very loyal fans. I'm not one of them. I'm a fan, not a loyal fan. Grizzlies are cool. I like Memphis. I like Tennessee. I would be, if I voted and I saw that they released the names, because they got to work in this sphere, they got to interview these guys, I would be so pissed. Because I'm sure he's a fan of Ja. I'm sure he likes Ja. I don't think that's okay. I really don't. And Ja has every right to call him out if he wants. I'm not saying Ja's in the wrong. I'm saying there could be some fans who could take it a step further, And I just don't think that's okay. I really don't. I'm really against it. I did not like it. I did not like it one bit. All right. Let's stay in the NBA realm because I think it's, I can find this real quick. If I can find this article. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. All right. Well, there was this, there's an MMA fight last night. And there was this fighter. Found it. Okay. Colby Covington. He won his MMA victory over Tyron Woodley, which I'm not into fighting. Not an MMA fan, not a UFC fan, Ultimate Fighting. It's an intense sport. These guys are savages. And I have to say, so this is so he won. And apparently Woodley, people are saying this fight was like, Woodley needs to retire. Not taking anything from Colby, but apparently Woodley needs to retire. So Colby says, I want to dedicate this fight to all the first responders, all the military out there. Respect. You keep, and he's wearing an American flag while he's saying this, by the way. You keep us safe. Not these woke athletes. Not these spineless cowards like LeBron James. Now, LeBron's probably like, I don't know who this guy is. Because I didn't. But I have to say, and I'm not saying I agree with Colby. I'm not saying I disagree with Colby. I think Colby is free to say whatever he wants to say. I respect whatever he has to say. I think it's interesting, and I think it's sad. I really do. That it's almost, in today's society, it's almost criminal to show how patriotic you are. Not criminal, but, you have to hide it now. You don't see people wearing the American flag as much as they should. Or as much, your personal preference. So if, the USA is all about free opinion and free speech and everything you want to say, he's allowed to share his opinion on, and he's an athlete, on how, they use their platform. But I also agree, I also understand to where LeBron's allowed to use his platform however he chooses. If he chooses to fight for social injustice, then he's allowed to. And he should. You should use your platform for good things if you have it. I'm hoping one day where I can build this platform and I can hopefully inspire and help others with it. That's why I don't have a problem with anything LeBron ever says, and I don't have a problem with what Kobe just said. Because it's their platform, it's their moment, they have the power. If they want to say something of what they believe in, go right ahead. We live in the USA for a reason. And it's because of that reason you're allowed to say these things. No matter what on the fence you are. You should always be pro free speech. And I hate the idea of people being scared to speak their mind because somebody's going to disagree with them. Just because you disagree with someone does not mean you hate them. Food for thought, right? You're allowed to disagree. I disagree with my parents all the time, but I love them. Disagree with my brothers all the time, but I love them. I have best friends. We don't see eye to eye, but I love them. The bros, we don't always see eye to eye, but I love them. You don't have to agree every time, everybody, but you have to be able to understand and listen. Colby's allowed to say what he says. He's allowed to feel how he feels. Same for LeBron. LeBron's allowed to say what he wants to say. He's allowed to feel what he wants to feel. There's always two sides of one coin. Remember that. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with X and O's with Evan and Bros. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. Take this moment to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Curbside Entertainment and Curbside Network, respectively. You can also find us on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. What's up, guys? Welcome back to X and O's with Evan and Bros. It's just me today. It's just Evan. Let's give me a hand. Yeah, so it's just me, but it's fine. So at the top of the first 30 minutes, we talked about the NBA. My prediction, I guess I should say, for the Lakers-Nuggets game. Game 2. And we're pulling for the Nuggets. Come on, Nugs. But let's move on, switch gears. Let's go into a little college football news, and then we'll finish with the NFL. So the Big Ten is back. Now, there was an uproar. There was talks. There was people were pissed. Family members were pissed. Players were pissed. Everybody was pissed. And I don't know who really got the ball rolling because it seemed pretty adamant that they weren't going to play at least anytime soon. But they are back this fall. I think they're predicting to play sometime beginning of October, I think. And then obviously play, I think, 7 or 8 straight weeks and try to make it to the start of the college football playoffs if, one of those teams obviously are eligible or make it or who are voted in, probably Ohio State. This is a big deal because a lot of the, really good, a lot of the really good Power 5 teams are in the Big Ten, Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, yeah, really just those three. And so I think this really gives them an opportunity to, become something and make some noise in college football. Ohio State's not leaving for the SEC anytime soon. I know that was murmured around. And even though I hate Ohio State, this is better for college football, 1,000%. Because could you imagine the talk? Say one of these SEC, say Bama, really any other school, Clemson, Bama, Georgia, Oklahoma, any schools go on to win it. People will be like, yeah, but Ohio State didn't participate. Ohio State didn't play. Wouldn't matter anyway, but now they get to prove it on the field. Ohio State. Yeah, whatever. We'll see. We'll lace them up. Put the cleats on. Take it outside. But I do like Justin Fields. He's probably going to be the number 2 pick, depending on your preference. Probably number 2. And I like him. I like him a lot. So he was at UGA when I was there. So he was cool. Saw him on the bus a couple times. Good-looking son of a bitch. I like him. But, so, we'll see what happens. Nebraska at OSU week 1. So, October 12th. And then I think they're predicting that the game is going to be between Michigan and Ohio State December 12th. So, all right. Welcome back. So, let's move on to the NFL. And, guys, week 2 is upon us. Week 2. And I have to say, there are no COVID nobody tested positive in week 2 for the NFL. Freaking height, y'all. Thank God. Because if it come out like 30, 40 people, a whole team like the MLB was, the Marlins or the Mariners, Marlins, had a quarantine, and then they affected the other team, so that team had a quarantine, and the team they played had a quarantine. There was like 5 teams who were suspended because they couldn't play because they had a quarantine. This is a big accomplishment. Saturday morning, they tested. Everybody negative. So sports continued to move, which they should. Then obviously you take your precautions, and if you want to take care of your family, you take care of your family. Take care of your health, you take care of your health. But in football's case, you're already, and I have to agree, I think it's really silly. Sean McVay, the head coach for the LA Rams, got in trouble on Sunday Night Football. The NFL sent out a memo, I think that Monday. They were like, we strongly encourage coaches and players to be wearing masks. The reason why they sent that out is because Sean McVay kept his mask literally under his chin the entire game. He didn't wear it once. But these guys it's just for the cameras. It really is. I mean, even the players are just up and touching each other. So, I don't know. I think you can keep, I think if you're on staff, and you're on the field, what's the point of having a mask? Andy Reid is fogging up his face shield. Can't even see the damn field. I don't know, dude. That's one where I just think it's kind of silly. It doesn't make any sense to me. But maybe doctors have proven that that's beneficial on the field to have a mask. I don't see it. I don't see it. But it's whatever. It's fine. It's their rules. You play by them. As long as if you play by them, then we get to see you play. So you keep playing by them. That's all I got to say. You keep doing it so we can keep seeing some good football on the field. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about some, since they are getting, NFL, let's talk about what we could possibly see. All right. So start off Thursday Night Football. Let's talk about it. Browns took on the Bengals. Browns won 35-30. I picked the Browns to win. They won. The Browns defense got me 3 points, not -9 like the Vikings in week 1. Thank God I could only go up. Honestly, if I got -3, I would have been happy. But yes, the Browns and the Bengals, the two worst teams in the AFC North by far. It's not close. Steelers actually looking really good, and then obviously you're going to get with the Ravens. I was a big critic of Joe Burrow at LSU because I was a big believer in Joe Brady, the passing coordinator for LSU. I have liked what I've seen from Joe Burrow so far. He seems cool, seems collected. He wants to win so bad. I like what I've seen. That being said, and I love Jonah Williams at left tackle for the Bengals. This offensive line is trash. They have to do something. Joe cannot throw it 61 times. There was a stat thrown out there. Joe threw it more that night, 61 attempts, than Jimmy Garoppolo attempted in the postseason run for the 49ers last year. That's absurd. And he's young. I get it. His arm could probably handle it. But damn. Sorry, hit the mic. Damn. So, what? They have to get Joe and Joe. They have to get Joe Mixon involved, and they have to shore up that offensive line. It was the same problem with the Browns last year with Baker. They couldn't protect worth a damn. Dude was running around for his life, getting sacked here and there. Joe's going to have a tough time. Honestly, if they got the first pick and picked the guy from Oregon, the left tackle, who opted out, that's the best thing for him. 1,000%. Because it's going to be hard to attract people to Cincinnati, even if you're building something good. It's going to be hard. But if you can go get that guy from Oregon, you go do it. Or Alex Leatherwood from Alabama. Great left tackle, number 70. Dude's a beast. So there's some options there. But that left tackle right here from Oregon is a monster. And he's Oregon's head coach, is Alabama's former offensive line coach. And obviously the pedigree's there. He knows what he's doing. He's coached well. Makes sense. So yeah, I think if you can get him, it just makes you so much better. And they might get that first pick, honestly, because they can't hold. They got weapons on the outside. Higgins, T. Higgins, A.J. Green. A.J. Green, he's learning how to catch again. Dude was looking rough. Honestly, if I was the Bengals, I would trade him away before he gets injured again. Either trade for defensive prospects or draft picks. I would trade him away. I'll get him out of there. But moving on to the Browns, since they won. They got over 200 yards rushing from Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Best 1-2 punch in the NFL. For sure, by a mile. Kareem Hunt should be a starting running back anywhere. He would be. They can't, just like the Bengals this year, the Browns invested a lot of money in their offensive line in the offseason. They have to be able to run the ball for Baker to succeed. If they cannot run the ball, if they cannot play action, Baker will not succeed in the NFL. That's a fact. Baker's best when he's on the move, when he can throw the ball on the move. If you're asking him to drop back 61 times, Browns win. Browns lose 90% of the time. I'll put all my money on that. They finally got OBJ involved. Of course, when I play him in fantasy, makes sense. But I can't guarantee you that the Browns are going to get over 200 yards rushing every week. Especially the Bengals are missing Geno Atkins and Mike Davis. Their two best Mike Daniels. Their two best interior defensive linemen they were missing. No duh. The Browns are running 200 yards of rushing offense. No duh. And the Bengals almost came back and won. Almost. 30, 35. I was predicting I think literally said when we taped Thursday, I said 2017. 30, 35. If you had the over on that, you're a wealthy man. For sure. Would have taken the under in a heartbeat. All right. So that's enough for Thursday Night Football. We're going to talk about today's games. Well, I say we because I'm so used to talking about we. I'm going to talk about today's games. So up first, 2 0-1 teams. The 49ers take on the Jets. I think we already talked about who are going to win these games. I'm going 49ers. But, I think the Jets are the worst team in the NFL. I used to think it was the Jaguars, but Jaguars actually won week 1. So it's funny. I think the worst teams, if I had to pick the worst 3 teams, they're in the AFC. But the 3 best teams might be also in the AFC. It's funny. At least the top 2. I think the NFC is more competitive, but obviously the AFC is more top heavy. With the Chiefs, with the Ravens, Patriots still look good, Bills still look good, Titans look good. But then after that, it's kind of shit. NFC has competitive-wise, you can go obviously Saints, Buccaneers. You hope the Buccaneers. We'll see week 2. Buccaneers, Seattle, 49ers. Hopefully, if they can get back on track. They got some injuries. Cardinals look good. Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is rewinding the clock to 2010, 2011. Dude's looking incredible. You hope the Vikings could be competitive. Lions are now out of it. They should have been 10-6, but versus they were 6-10. They should have been 10-6 last year, and they blew this fourth quarter lead. Cowboys, I hate them, but they're good. They have They have a talented roster. They have yet to put it to really together. Atlanta can score with anybody, but can they defend? Nah. Dude, there's a lot of really good teams in the NFC. A lot of teams that could probably win like it's a toss-up, That's what I'm trying to say. I think the NFC is more competitive. The AFC has the better 2 teams. But again, the Steelers looked really good week 1. And I don't think they even played their best game against the Giants. Like it was sloppy. It really was. I think that defense has so much more to offer. I think Big Ben has looked. I was talking with Eldad about this, one of the bros. You may have seen him on the show before, but I was talking with him, and I was like, it's really blown my mind, Big Ben's longevity, because right now Philip Rivers can't hit the broadside of a barn. Obviously, Eli Manning retired, but even when he retired, he couldn't get the ball downfield. But Big Ben just looks good, I think he's 35, 36. I'm going to fact check me, but I mean, he just, and I think Mike Tomlin, I believe a lot in Mike Tomlin. I think he's one of the definitely top 10 coach, maybe top 5. I'd have to really think on it. Big Ben is 38. See? He's throwing it like a 35-year-old. Been in the league since 2004. I just like what I've seen. But yeah, NFC's more competitive. AFC's top heavy. 2 best teams in the league. Chiefs, Mahomes. Oh, and Texans too. I think the Texans are a really good team. That defense is a little spotty. They have a lot to figure out, and I think JJ was hurt again. Oh, that's not the one. That's not the one. It's not the one either. There we go. Finally got there. I went through 3 of them before I get to the last one. But yeah, JJ's hurt again. I feel Deshaun, just keep throwing to the Will Fuller, and we're good. We're good to go. But, all right, so what I'm going to do is now, I'm going to go through fantasy for our league, and I'm going to tell you who I think on the ESPN app. We're playing full PPR, by the way, for everybody to keep along. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go through each matchup and who I think is going to be the top performer between both the 2 teams. That's our. So up first is obviously me, the host, versus Dick Trickle, Connor Staten. He had Odell come up big for 17.4. And I think if I had to pick a player to come up big for him, or between our matchup, this is tough. I'm going to go Mike Andrews on my side against Houston because they did not guard Travis Kelce extremely well week 1. That defense, again, is spotty. So I'm going Mike Andrews as one of the top performers in our matchup for sure. Moving on, Loose Gooch against Team Anwar. I'm going to go. I mean, I think Ezekiel Elliott is a safe pick against Atlanta as the top performer that week. Towson is might be the worst team in the league. I really feel that. Project versus Towson. Going Ezekiel Elliott as top performer. We got Eldad versus Cole. I think you could see. This is tough. Again, this is tough. I think I'm going to go Joshua against New Orleans. And New Orleans D stout. Oh my God. I'm not going to lie. I might go CeeDee Lamb as his top performer. And I might go Ridley as Eldad's number 2. No, I'm going Mostert. I'm going both their flex. Their flexes are probably going to be their top performers. It's kind of how I feel. Plunkett got big. His flex got 20 points for him. I'm going still Devontae Adams. I think Devontae Adams did a beast, and Aaron Rodgers is going to throw for another 400 this week. I think Sam could be in trouble. That Chargers offense doesn't look good, and Keenan Allen's number 1. Obviously, it's Christian McCaffrey, so that might make up some points. But his running back 2 is Dave Montgomery. I don't like Sam's team at all, if I'm being honest. It's a tough hand he's been dealt. So I'm going to go Devontae Adams as. I'm going Lamar Jackson as his top performer, probably. But be on the lookout for Kareem Hunt. I think Grant could also have another big week this week. He was the leading points of last week. Will versus EJ. Well, Nick Chubb came up big with 26 points, 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think it's safe to say that might be the top performer out of these two teams. I don't trust anybody else. Yeah. I go Nick Chubb as the top performer between that matchup. Yeah, I think this is an interesting week in fantasy. But yeah, I think, yeah, you can't go wrong. Problem is with fantasy, I think what people have realized, especially post-draft, wide receivers really deep. You can get a lot of good quality guys. But running backs top heavy. So you have to hit running backs early. I would argue you have to hit running backs round 1 and 2. Get 2 guys that maybe one guy is going to ground and pound. Next guy is going to be a receiving back. Then hit wide receivers 3 and 4. If you want to go tight end 5, go tight end 5, and then come back and get either a receiver or running back best available. Who you want to play your flex. I think that's the best route to take. And then probably quarterback 7. Unless you could get, Lamar, Holmes. You guys know they're going to put 8 yards. But I still in the camp where you still wait for quarterback. You can get Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, maybe even Russell, Deshaun. You wait. You wait on it for sure. All right, guys. That is Monday's episode of X and O's with Evan and Bros. I hope you enjoy just hearing me talk for, a good 50 minutes. It's been fun. And if you like this style, if you like just hearing me talk, and, maybe we can start a news show together where it's just me and we can, talk about everything, political stuff, movie stuff. I'm going to start a entertainment movie show and it'll be around the corner, Geekdom Kingdom. And then also we can include sports on that show as well. We'll talk. We'll figure something out. All right, guys. Tossin, take us out. Take us home. Who loves the CEN hat? Peace, y'all.